Welcome to Books for Success. Today we're unraveling the insights from Exercised by Daniel Lieberman. We hear a lot about the need for daily exercise, but if humans have evolved to avoid physical exertion, how does that work? Daniel Lieberman doesn't consider himself a natural athlete, but has a deep interest in the evolutionary elements of exercise and the human body. As a professor of biological sciences at Harvard University, he has spent many years studying human evolution. In Exercised, the Science of Physical Activity, Rest, and Health, he debunks many incorrect claims about exercise. Do you really need to hit the gym every morning? Could a different kind of exercise do the same thing? And how can you focus on health while avoiding the activities you don't enjoy? If you struggle to motivate yourself to exercise, this summary will shed some light on the possible reasons why. If you find our content valuable, subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. Don't be shy about dropping your book suggestions for us to summarize. Let's grow and succeed together. Humans have evolved to avoid physical activity. Does that make us lazy? Daniel Lieberman has never considered himself an athlete. He describes himself as a nerdy and small kid, struggling with anxiety connected to physical activity. If anything, he grew up avoiding physical activity as much as possible. Like many teenagers, he felt unsure and uncomfortable in his body, so sports lessons were never a fun time for him. However, he fell in love with evolution over the years and chose to learn more about it as he moved through his education and into college. There are many different myths associated with exercise. If you don't exercise enough, you're lazy. If you exercise too much, you're obsessed. Many people exaggerate the amount of exercise they do. But while exercise is certainly healthy, it's possibly not the magic wand many people expect it to be. It may not prevent or cure every disease alone. Lieberman questions how exercise can be the special cure for all if people these days are living longer yet are more physically inactive than ever before. Throughout this summary, Lieberman helps us understand the double standards associated with exercise. On the one hand, it's healthy and helpful, but on the other, it's not going to be the answer to every health issue either. By learning more about exercise and its need, you can banish any hang-ups about physical activity and find a healthy and positive route. Genes and lifestyle are the main factors in exceptional athleticism. It's interesting to think about why athletes are so focused and motivated. In 2012, Daniel Lieberman observed the Ironman World Championship in Hawaii, which focuses on tourism and enjoying the finer things in life, not particularly health and well-being. However, when the race begins, the participants only have their eyes on one prize, making it to the end of the course. For some, that could be in a few hours, but it would be around midnight when most cross the line. The race's motto is "Anything is possible," and the late participants grabbed Lieberman's attention. What pushed them to put their bodies through such exertion? What motivated them? What did they get out of it? Much research has answered this question and why some people are naturally athletic and others aren't. Genes do indeed play a part. If you have athletic parents, it's far more likely that you'll be athletic too. Lifestyle is also a key factor. In the 18th century, the famous philosopher Jean-Jacques Rousseau developed the theory of the natural human. He claimed that people who live in savage conditions show their inherent selves. They're not affected by the civilization around them. However, this theory has been twisted and questioned many times. Lieberman used this theory to come up with his version. He realized that the people not surrounded by the decadent items of modern life are natural superathletes. They can achieve extraordinary physical achievements and don't struggle with laziness. However, most modern people struggle with laziness because society has turned them into weaker versions of who they could be. Avoid sitting too much if you want to protect your health. There are many things that most of us do regularly, and we don't realize how detrimental they are to our health. For instance, did you know that sitting for too long could put you at risk of several severe health issues? Many health experts have claimed that sitting is the new smoking. When you consider it, sitting is a form of physical inactivity. So, does that mean sitting will damage your health? Or is it more about how you sit and how long? Most of us sit for long periods during our day-to-day lives. We sit when we eat and relax, and many of us sit when we work. Studies suggest that 2 years of our lives disappear every 2 hours we sit. Many studies even suggest that sitting for more than 3 hours per day is responsible for around 4% of worldwide deaths. Of course, we cannot prove this categorically, but there's no denying that sitting disease is real. Throughout evolution, we have learned to sit longer, probably because sitting is less tiring compared to standing. Yet, many people sit incorrectly and damage their back or knees. It is more sensible to squat rather than sit in evolutionary terms. However, most of us probably don't know how to squat correctly and find that we wobble around too much. This is all down to the easy access to chairs. Over an extended period, sitting for too long is responsible for chronic inflammation, causing your immune system to be less effective and is connected with many severe and chronic diseases. Of course, sitting for too long can also cause you to gain weight, another trigger for chronic conditions. The answer? You could argue that sitting is a necessity, and in many ways it is. However, getting up and moving around during the day as much as possible is essential. Did you know? Studies have linked long periods of sitting down with conditions such as increased blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, weight gain, and high cholesterol levels. Humans are built for endurance, not speed. One of the major myths associated with exercise is that humans voluntarily push aside speed, preferring the idea of endurance. Yet evolution shows us that speed is not natural for humans, at least not over a long period. Daniel Lieberman can remember the fastest he ever ran and couldn't keep the speed up for any longer than 30 seconds. This all happened when he was in Kenya and came face to face with a curious-looking hyena. Safe to say, he turned on his heel and ran as fast as he could in the opposite direction. Luckily, the hyena wasn't interested in chasing him, although it could easily have outrun him. Hyenas can run at around 40 mph. Lieberman also gives the retired sprinter Usain Bolt as an example of how humans are not designed to be speedy. When Bolt competed, he was often the last to leave the blocks. So how did he manage to be so successful and so dominating in sprinting if humans aren't supposed to be speedy? It all comes down to two significant factors: his stride length and stride rate. Bolt has long legs, but he could always move them faster. In effect, he took fewer strides because his wider reach helped him go further than the competition. Yet even as Bolt neared the finish line, he slowed down. The reason? Humans tire quickly and cannot maintain their peak speed. Animals have 4 legs, and evolution ensured that humans have 2. Lieberman wouldn't have outrun the hyena for this reason. The hyena's 4 legs help them propel forward faster and longer, pushing energy through its back legs, down the spine, and forward. As a result of our lack of speed for too long, we've turned our attention to endurance instead. We can run for longer if we maintain a slower pace. Sports are a form of play, not necessarily a great form of exercise. Do you believe that every sport is a form of training? Take darts as one example. Would you consider that to be exercise or more of a mental game? Not all sports are considered to be exercise. When you think about the games that animals play with one another, you can easily see the differences through evolution. Animals fight and play aggressively to learn how to hunt and survive. Humans are not aggressive in that way, and as a result, we are slower and weaker than our animal friends. Rather than fighting, we play. That's even more evident when you think about sports. We think and use strategies rather than being aggressive and pushing to win. We work together and solve problems in creative ways. Lieberman suggests that we have exchanged brawn for brains throughout evolution. Not everything is about being fast and strong, yet strength is vital in any sport. Throughout evolution, humans have lost the need to fight for survival. Of course, if you look back at the era of Neanderthals, you'll see that their habits were quite different. Our earlier selves needed to hunt and fight to find food to meet another day while facing daily threats. Yet, as time has moved on, this need has dissipated. We no longer face hungry, saber-toothed tigers on a walk down to the park. We don't need to hunt for food or run away from threats. As a result, we turn to organized play, sports, for entertainment. Not all sports can be considered exercise, but they use the same skills that have evolved from animals and our earlier selves. We just swapped muscles for intellect. Walking is good, but it's not going to help you lose weight. Pedometers and step-counting apps have made us assume that walking is the best way to become healthier and lose weight. For sure, walking will help your health, but it's very unlikely to help you lose a noticeable amount of weight. This is another of the biggest myths associated with exercise. Daniel Lieberman is a big believer in the idea that human evolution didn't focus on a need to become physically active and exercise. Instead, we evolved to be physically active only when strictly necessary. Walking is an excellent example of this. We walk a lot daily but do it in short bursts. For example, you might walk to the car in the morning or walk to work. You probably walk to the supermarket from your car or down the stairs from your bedroom. We're endurance walkers, but we do it over a period of time. Studies have shown that the average American walks around 1.7 miles daily, equating to 4,774 steps. That's a lot, but we don't do it all at once. There is also the suggestion that an average of 10,000 steps per day will help you maintain a healthy weight. Yet it's not going to help you lose weight. So while walking is good for you, it will not help you achieve your weight loss goal. The reason is also down to how humans have evolved to walk. We walk on two legs, which are effectively a pair of stilts in many ways. During the first part of the walking phase, your muscles push your body upward and help your leg move forward. Your center of gravity moves, burning calories, but it also uses the same energy to move the leg downward. Of course, the movement doesn't end there, otherwise you would fall forward. Your leg swings and connects with the ground, starting the whole walking movement once more. This cycle is considered physical activity, but you need to pump your arms and walk extremely fast to notice any significant difference in the number on the scales.
Conclusion.
Exercise. You either love it or hate it, don't you agree? The desire to exercise often comes from a need to achieve something. For many, going to the gym just for the sake of it isn't an attractive thought. So, what pushes those who do enjoy the treadmill? It could be exercise-loving genes, or it could be a lifestyle. Evolution has made life easier for humans. The majority of us don't need to hunt for food to survive. That means we don't need the physical attributes our earlier selves required back in the days of predators and cave people. The fact that humans have 2 legs and not 4 is also a slightly detrimental issue compared to animals and how strong and fast they are. So are humans just weak? Not necessarily. Daniel Lieberman believes that our physical strength has reduced while our brains have advanced. We tend to think about problems and solve them creatively rather than trying to run away or fight our way out of them. Yet, none of this means that we should allow ourselves to reduce the amount of exercise we do down to an unhealthy level. You can sidestep many health issues by focusing on moving your body a little more and eating a healthy diet. It also depends on how much you rest and how much sleep you get. By turning your attention to a healthier lifestyle, you can enjoy exercise whenever you want to.
Try this.
Make sure that you get a good night's sleep every evening. Your body needs to rest as much as it needs to move. How much time do you spend sitting? Take a mental inventory of minutes and work to reduce that number. If you do not enjoy exercise, what can you do to make it more enjoyable? How about working out with a friend?
Thank you for joining us on this enlightening journey.
If you've enjoyed our summary, consider reading the full book for a more in-depth exploration. Before you go, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't yet, and share this video with someone who could benefit from these insights. Until next time, keep reading, keep learning, and keep growing.